Right then, this is a quick walk around video for a Honda CRZ 1.5 GT hybrid. Finished in white, as you can see, which is very much the colour of choice for these cars, and fitted with the optional Honda alloys there, the electro alloys. Really rubbish with my packs on Hondas, always have been, even though I worked for them for years. It's got the rear spoiler. I think it's dynamic pack. I stand corrected, so please don't shoot me down in flames on this one. This is a really lovely example of a cracking car, which I think is going to become a future modern classic, or classic in time, obviously. 10 plate, as you can see, and it's in absolutely fantastic condition. There's a couple of tiny little marks on the car which I'll show you, but they're very few and far between. Bonnet of the car is very hard to see any marks of any note on there at all. All lights and lenses are in really good order. I'll come down a bit lower for you. The only marks on the front here, which will just literally take 2 seconds to touch in. Got one little one there, little stone chip, and then one just there, but it would take about 2 seconds to pop some paint into those if you really wanted to. But the rest of the car is all but unmarked. Near side of the vehicle, smooth, clean in the panel work, not a dimple dent to be seen anywhere on there at all. Front wing, can't see any marks in there at all. Front near side alloy in absolutely perfect condition. Sorry, to the light, there's a tiny little mark there, so got to pick these things out. And then coming down the main panel work, you see just how clean and crisp that actually is. And then rear alloy, can't see anything on there at all. Really good angle for the CRZs, especially with these lip spoilers. They're only subtle, but they really add an extra bit of stance to the car. Colour coded rear parking sensors fitted to the GT models as well. But there's no marks at all on the rear bumper there. And then off side of the vehicle, much the same as the near side, is absolutely mirror smooth again. Rear offside alloy, unmarked, and then the remainder of the panel work is absolutely fantastic. It really is in glorious condition, this car, and a real credit to its last owner. And then final alloy, again absolutely unmarked. GT models really do look good, especially because they've got the black panoramic roof on top, which you can see, and it just breaks up the white of the colour, but it just looks really great on the car. Coming into the boot area, surprisingly big boots on these cars. Think of them really as a two-seater car. I know they're 2+2, but really just drop the rear seats down and give yourself the extra boot space. But all in really nice order. Literally that tab there, just push it forward and it drops the seats down. Carpeted area, all under there, just looks absolutely like brand new underneath there. Near side door card here, really lovely colour coding on these, but it's in absolutely fantastic condition. Really is. It's pretty much unmarked. All the areas around by the passenger seat here, passenger seat itself, absolutely fantastic condition. Just to show that carpeted areas down there, there is a set of original Honda mats for this vehicle. They're just currently being cleaned as we speak. Driver's door card, again in absolutely perfect order. Really is. There's no marks or anything on there. That little mats there, again just covering up the mat underneath to keep my feet from getting the main carpet dirty, but as I said, there is an original mat on there. Driver's seat again in very nice condition. And if you look up above, you got this lovely panoramic roof on the GT models. You got this blind, if you so wish, just pull that across to block out the light inside the car. Just to quickly show you, we do have the original lock and wheel nut set for the vehicle and the full owner's manual pack with all the manuals attached to the vehicle. Quite often these go missing, but it's nice to see them here. So inside the car now, just to pan around the dashboard, not a lot to say really. It's absolutely stunning condition. It literally looks absolutely factory fresh. Very high quality controls, all the switch gears in beautiful order. Climate control system's working absolutely perfectly. Further down here, extra little cubby holes. You've got your little power outlet there, USB lead. You can charge your phone or do whatever you need to do. Heated seats again on the GT models, all working absolutely perfectly. Gearbox lever and gator in really nice order. All the plastics are a really nice original sheen to them. Hardly a scratch mark or mark on there anywhere. And then the main dashboard, which is a fantastic looking thing. It's so interesting, so easy to use. Just to go in there, just to show you, hopefully you can see, 67,154 miles. There's no warning lights on the car other than the low fuel light currently on the vehicle. We've got auto lights, auto wipers, multifunction steering wheel you can see here, audio top left, cruise control top right. You've got your hands-free telephone functions on the bottom left and information display on the bottom right there. Just to show you, which I explain more in the road test video, you've got your 3 modes on your buttons there. The car always starts in default mode, which is normal, which hopefully you can see there. Press it again. Economy, if you want to really try and eke out the last pennies worth of fuel, and then sport, which you can see changes the dashboard. It's got a little halo there into a red hue, but in fantastic, it really is. I've got to say, use a different word to fantastic. I keep using it and I hate doing it, but it really is in lovely condition. Very high quality interior, and so it's been absolutely beautifully kept. What will follow this video, hopefully in due course, will be a road test of this very car. Right, this is a quick video, and this is for a Honda CRZ 1.5 hybrid, and this is the GT model. Registration number of this car is FD10SXP, and mileage of the start of this road test is 67,155 miles. The reason for the road test is very simple indeed. We want customers to see our cars in operation prior to coming to see us. We think it's important at this day and age, where people are willing to travel a lot further to go and see cars, that they can do so in the knowledge that they're not going to go and see something with a fundamental fault, or if there is a fault on the car, at least they've been told about it prior to them turning up. The video is critical, so if there's something wrong on the vehicle or something I need to tell you about, I certainly will. I've done it in the past and I'll continue to do it as well. It's also done on exactly the same road test route as any prospective buyer would go on, so I'd hope would be representative of what any buyer would then feel themselves when they came to see and drove the vehicle. So starting with the car itself, engine itself, it's a fabulous unit. They really are. This particular car's had a wonderful service history, all done by the Honda main dealers. I think 8 in total from memory on the vehicle, and only recently done actually as well. But it starts absolutely instantly. Obviously, because it's push button, it starts with the hybrid mode. So tends to start silently in effect, but the engine kicks in absolutely spot on. Very sweet revving. It's a lovely sounding engine as well, and the whole hybrid system works absolutely perfectly. There's no warning lights on the dashboard. The only warning light, for what it's worth, on there currently is just low fuel, which of course I will attend to by putting fuel into it. But these are very tough cars. We've sold lots of them and never ever had an issue with any of them. Engine then feeds through clutch and into gearbox. Clutch on the car, very smooth in operation. Bite point is exactly where you want it to be. There's no squeaks or groans from the clutch pedal, not that the CRZ's ever really suffered from it, but certain manufacturers have. Clutch then goes through to the gearbox, and one of my favourites. Honda make genuinely brilliant gearboxes, not only in terms of how mechanically strong they are, or how long lasting they are, but also in terms of kind of how they operate and how they feel. you know, this is fundamentally, you know, a sports coupe. It's meant to be fun, and it's amazing how many times you get into a car with pretensions of sportiness only to find out you've got a really bulky, horrible gearbox, or one that's utterly lifeless. It's light, it's positive, but it's just got nothing to it. This one has got absolutely bags of character. It's short in the throw, it's got a kind of a weightiness to it, perfectly sized and shaped gear knob on top of the gear lever. It's absolutely brilliant. I mean, it's only, I think it's probably in the top 3 or 4 gearboxes I've ever used from Honda. It's that good. It really, really is. It's just so easy to find your gears. You know, they always slot home. It's very, very decisive, very accurate in its throw, and it's lost none of the precision it had when it was new. It's, you know, really, really is in fabulous order. Worth pointing out, the car can be operated in 3 different modes. 2 are quite subtle, 1's less so. The car will always start in what they call normal mode, so it's just, you just drive along quite normally, and you know, you get very good economy and decent performance. If you press the economy button, it softens the engine mapping, throttle response is sort of dulled slightly, and it encourages more economical driving, as well as I think it cuts the air conditioning in and out more regularly than it would do in the other modes. When I first had mine, I had one of the very first ones that came out. You know, I tried to get the manufacturer's claims for economy, and I drove like a vicar for weeks and weeks, trying to just, you know, get 70 to the gallon, and to be honest with you, it just spoiled the car. I don't know why I did it. And press the sport button, I mean, immediately the throttle response sharpens up straight away, and it's exactly the way the car should be driven and feel. It's just a lot more fun to drive, much more immediate in its responses, and it works brilliantly, and you get this pretty funky looking red hue comes down the dashboard when you drive it in sport mode as well. Steering of the car tracks absolutely bullet straight. There's no vibrations coming back to the steering wheel of the vehicle. Absolutely no wear in it whatsoever. It's a lovely, quick, very dynamic steering setup on these vehicles. Same with the suspension. It's got no noises, no clonks, no bangs, no hint of wear underneath it. They ride very, very well. It's got a lovely sporty ride. It's firm, but it's not harsh. But it's incredibly agile, these cars. They're really this is kind of old school hot hatch in the way it feels. It feels kind of light on its feet. You feel the lack of weight in the car. When you drive it, it's just got that lovely feeling that you just throw it into a corner and it responds brilliantly. It's a really, really, really good fun car. Corners flat, it corners with poise, precision. Just really great fun. As I said, you know, so many cars now, they kind of engineer out noise, they engineer out the feelings that you get in it, you want to get in a car, and the only way to get it back is by driving some sort of, you know, say pretty old school sort of hot hatch. This has got enough refinement, it's civilized enough, it's comfortable enough, but it's just got that really sort of chuckable quality to it, which I really love. Incidentally, brakes in the car feel lovely and solid. However, it went in for MOT today, and they did say that it needed new pads on the front, although they look actually quite good. So on Monday it's going to have a brand new set of brake pads on there, but brake pedals lovely and solid, pulls it down nice and straight and true. Looking inside the car, in genuinely brilliant condition, it really is. But they're just such lovely places to sit and drive the car. It's got very nice colour coding, very kind of BMW-esque in lots of ways, but you know, with all the good bits and not the bad bits. Very, very high quality switchgear on it as well. You know, but it's in beautiful condition. Not, you know, there's not even a hint of a squeak or a rattle from the interior of the car. Obviously GT specs. We've got this lovely panoramic roof, so it adds in a lot more natural light into the car, which is really nice. But everything works beautifully in here. Dashboard is just brilliant. It really is. It's so different, it's so unique. but it's not gimmicky, which is what I love. You've got you know, the information you want in a little sports hatch, your speed quite clearly to keep your license intact, rev counter immediately surrounds that in the kind of this hologram effect, but it's all very, very easily assimilated, the information. You take it in, you get used to the dashboard in seconds, but it's just so unique, which is what I love about it. Then kind of reminiscent of S2000 to me, you got these fingertips, you know, a very symmetrical, where you've got on the left hand side your climate control system, which is brilliantly effective, blowing out lovely cold air, and then to right you got, you know, the mode buttons for the different engine settings I was referring to, and then you've got things like VSA, headlamp wash, and electric wing mirror adjustment and folding there, but it's all very symmetrical, brilliantly done ergonomically, you know, in terms of kind of where your fingers fall, but it is fun, it really, really is. Yeah, and on top of which, you know, they are, as I've kind of implied earlier, they're so tough and reliable. You know, we've had them in with over 100,000 miles, still going absolutely perfectly. You know, they're going for miles more than that as well. But the car drives sensationally well. It really, really does. You know, I'm trying to see if there's anything I can possibly criticise inside the car, but I genuinely can't. And as I said, I do, as I said earlier, that if there is something fundamentally wrong with the car, I do tell people, but there's nothing on this one. It's a lovely car, in fantastic condition. Obviously, if I've missed anything on the video, then, you know, do give us a call. Obviously, we'd be happy to look into any issues that you want us to sort of get back to you on. But, you know, this is just what I love about these cars is it's something a little bit different. You know, it's not, you know, you can buy a small engine diesel and get the same economy, if not better, but they're dull, they're one-dimensional, they're just a whoosh and go and a short blip of power. This one, you know, you've got a real sense of verve and excitement when you put your foot down. It growls back at you, which, you know, the intake, sort of guttural kind of sound, which is really lovely. You just don't get that from diesel cars. On top of which, these are massively more reliable. You know, no silly DPF filters or anything daft like that on them. But all in all, it said, you know, I am horribly biased. I love these cars, but as an example of one, if you're looking around, you know, you'd be coming to see and drive and buy, hopefully, a really wonderful car.